Again, just need to reset the mic so it's in sync with the video. Hey, good evening, Shaggy SoCal to Forza, and this is the final track guide for this season of TNT in the 1997 Porsche GT1 Strassen version. I'm not sure if this is race 1 or race 2 for this Thursday, but it is at Watkins Glen short. Again, standard format. I'm going to go run a few laps, just kind of warm up, then I'll do kind of a slow lap, talking about what I'm going to do with this car around the track. Hopefully it'd be a fairly quick opening to this, because the short course, we don't have to worry about, we're not running the boot. And then again, because I'm going to need to practice, I'm going to do a mock race against the AI for what I think the race length might be, and again, hopefully set up some traffic and passing situations so I can kind of sort out what I can get away with this car. So with that, here at Watkins Glen, it's noon on a partly cloudy day with no tire rubber down, 4 times the tire wear, and I'm on softs with 50% fuel. So let's go ahead and start racing, run a couple of laps and see what happens. Three, 2, 1. Okay, so I can break all the way down at like the 100 board on the start. 3rd gear turn there. Again, you can use a lot of this rumble strip if you want. And a nice chicane going up. Tires are still going to be a little bit cold, but high downforce, plenty of grip on the soft tires. And down the bus stop. I'm going to look for the ambulance on the left side. Drop down. Use a lot of the curbing. Use 3rd gear to kind of help slow the car down with the engine braking. Gets a little weight in the front. Helps the front tires grip. Probably more helpful on the harder compounds. We'll see how that works out. Going to brake at the 300 board there, down to 4th, using that camber position as the apex. You can use a lot of the curbing there, brake just to the end of the tire bundles, down to 3rd, and back onto the front straightaway. Now for me, braking for turn 1, I'm actually going to brake at the end of pit wall. I just see the red wall. I don't know which board that is on the right. 3rd gear corner, and out, going to use plenty there, plenty of curbing. If I can do it right twice. Oh, that was probably a little bit too soft on the brakes for me. I think I need to be a little more solid on those brakes. Get the car slowed down. Going to start accelerating at the little corner worker stand there. Out. You can use a bit of the exit there if you need to. And again, we'll go to the 300 down. Camera, apex, roll back in the throttle, use a little curving there, brake, down, and that's Watkins Glen short. Very short lap without the boot, very fast lap without the boot. So, all right, let's do the slow lap here really quick. So what I'm looking to do, and before we do that, let's go to settings and just get back to manual for a second. So for me, it looks like it's the 300 board. I've without the braking line on like that, I've actually gotten in more of a habit of looking. It's easier to spot the colors on the pit wall. So for me, I'm braking right, where that red on the inside of the pit wall goes out of view. It happens to line up with the 300 board. Again, when you're at speed coming down the front straightaway in 5th gear, that last red on the pit wall is a lot easier to see from a distance. So that's primarily what I'll be using. So 5th gear, brake, down to 3rd. Again, generous track limits here, so you can go ahead and use a lot of this curbing on the exit. You can use a lot of the curbing here. That track limit line. If you don't run track limits, you run proximity. that track limit line is on the back side of the curbing. So you can use quite a bit if you need to. If you can put up with the sound of the rumble strips in your ear. For turn in for the next one, this one for me is done by rhythm. But if I had to say my turn in is kind of, I'm looking for where the start of the curbing is, going up and up the S's there. It also seems to maybe time out as I'm passing there's that light pole that's right there underneath the car level. So that's probably where I'll start turning the car off. But ultimately, what it'll look like is that I'm exiting, that I'm moving back off the curbing right when it ends. Because ideally, you want to be off the curbing before it ends, because there it's grass and that'll just pull you straight into the Armco. So again, left right chicane, very fast, full throttle. Probably be able to do it full throttle no matter the compound. Usually what I try to do is right about here. There are times certain cars, depending on what they want. Sometimes I try to keep the car to the right for the first part and then arc it back over for the left. This one, because we're running max downforce, the car is pretty solid. You can kind of take a traditional line through here. Apex in, as you're coming off this curbing, you'll start coming off this curbing about the end, about the middle of the track. You should just then be able to kind of go straight across the middle, and just gently turn in for the left, for the left-hander here. The only thing you just got to be careful of is just mind your steering, because this Armco comes up fast if you're not paying attention. But you do want to bring the car out here, so you meet up with the curbing on this side. And just general steering. Let the car just kind of naturally drift out to the left as you come out of the S's. You'll be in fifth gear at this point. And this, for me, and this might be one of those, if you guys have run the braking line and you're behind me, just be warned. I'm probably going to brake a lot earlier than you're expecting. What I'm looking for is when I'm coming down the straight here, is it's actually easier for me. I'll spot. Let's get it down to first. Um, I'll probably spot from a distance. I'll probably spot the corner worker shack first. I think one of the boards kind of blocks the ambulance. But for me, I'm going to be braking right about the ambulance. It happens to line up with the 3 board. If I can notice, we'll see how good my eyes are when I'm up to speed, and depending on lighting, you can kind of see a break in the Armco that would allow the ambulance to enter the track. But for me, that's about where I'm going to be getting on the braking. Fifth gear down to fourth. And what I'm trying to do is I'm going to try and fire it in through here in fourth gear. Um, the hard part is that probably more often than not, I'll probably do this first part too fast and then have to pedal the car and do a little extra braking, maybe drop it to third. But if I can get it in fourth and I get it slowed down enough, it's fourth. Just going to use as much of this curving as the game's going to allow me. Minimize my steering. So fourth gear out here. This is the other thing I'm going to be experimenting with is for this carousel is, again, 2 different philosophies. You can charge in there full throttle and then brake to slow the car down to kind of make the corner. Or if you want to take a little more relaxed approach, it's full throttle and you just kind of hit a point where you're just like, all right, I'm going to back off the gas and kind of let the car do the work. I'm usually more the smoothest fast. I'm probably not going to try and, I'll probably back the throttle off and just kind of glide in off throttle and bounce the car then mid corner. We'll see how the race goes. But generally, I think you can be on full throttle until you get to about where the end of the tire bundle here is. Once you get past that, between that and then the light pole there on the inside, you're going to have to do something. Either if you're going to try and fire it in there and then hit the brakes, fine, or ease off the gas. I'll experiment with fourth gear. My thought is this, to me, if I'm going to be gliding through here, I'm probably going to drop it to third, and then again it just puts the higher RPM. The engine kind of helps slow the car down, kind of gradually. It puts a little bit of the weight shift, keeps it on the front a little bit more. The car seems to work better, and at least on the soft tires. We'll see how the hard and the mediums go. As far as getting the car slowed down, getting it balanced, and getting it into the inside. What I'll be looking for is the corner worker shack here on the inside. As I get to it, that's kind of my cue. It's like how I know as I go past it, if I'm not at full throttle when I go past it, I've done something wrong. I'm going to try to get you know, as I'm getting to it here, I'm going to try and roll back into the throttle and be full throttle at this point. We'll see how the tires and how my line is, if that will be consistent on all the compounds. Again, you can bring the car pretty far over, the track limit lines on the backside of the curving, so you can use a lot of that exit curving if you need to. I tend not to, or if I do, just a little bit. But let's see, third gear, fourth gear, maybe up to fifth, heading down, last couple of corners. And for me, again, just gently braking, or I'll brake here about the 300 board. Brake, drop it down to fourth. I'm using the TV camera position as kind of an apex marker. That's, to me, where about the apex is. So I want to have the car to the inside in the curving at that point, start rolling back into the throttle. Try not to open the steering up too early. Again, you can use a lot of this curbing. And there it is. Again, the track limit's on the back side of the curving. So you can use a lot of it if you need to. I would try, use as much as you dare, but leave yourself a little bit of room in case you get it wrong, and go a little bit wider than you really want to. So fourth gear at this point, bring it back across. I'm braking about where this tire bundle ends, drop it down to third, and try to get the car across the pit lane entry onto the curving, roll back into the throttle. If you need to use the curving here, you can, and then you've got a little bit of time past that before it goes back to grass. But that's a lap of Watkins Glen short. Again, short lap, roughly a minute, minute 8, minute 9, depending on your tire and your pace. So it's going to be a lot of laps. It's going to really be, well, any race is about maintaining momentum, but especially here, because so much of this is high speed. There's really no slow speed corners here, or huge braking into a slow corner, like let's say Hockenheim's hairpin, or heck, even the first race of the night at Mugello that has the turn 1 hairpin there. So it's all going to be being smooth, maintaining your momentum, capitalizing on others' mistakes, and we'll see how good the draft works here. So what I'm going to do is, because I need to practice, and let's see if I can set up a couple of, hang on one second. I'm sorry, wrong pipe. So I'm just going to back out of here. I'm going to pause the stream for a second to kind of reset the audio bit rate so it doesn't get all staticky by the end of the stream. And then I'm going to do a mock race against the AI with what I think the race distance will be, and then we'll kind of judge from there, how good my racecraft is. So stand by for a second. Let me get out. Tell you what, let me reset some settings, then I'll pause. Manual with clutch, that's fine. And we'll go exit to event menu. I can probably quit race. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to pause. I'll come right back to this and we'll do the mock race. Okay, let me reset the mic while I set things up. Nope, not that one. That one. Okay, so we're gonna go circuit race, Watkins Glen, short. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here. Yeah, so starting time of day, we're gonna say random, number of laps. That's probably a lap or two off. I think I might be on the high side, so I'm just kind of ballparking it based off of I kind of base it off the soft lap time divided by 2100 seconds. It doesn't factor in kind of the bucket delays that go on, so it might be 29, might be on the high side if Matt picks that. It might be 28, might be 27. But we'll find out. Starting time of day, we're gonna go random. rolling, 4x, random, though if it rains, no. Start 50-cent track rubber, all the drivatars, cars, we're still in the Porsche, that's good. Rules, again, always set resets to club rules, we like sport rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, FFR, standing, random, and mandatory pit stops, 1. Oh, no. Okay. Go ahead and accept that. And let's see. Again, watch, it'll be night in the rain. Okay, it looks like late afternoon. Looks a little damp. Let's see what the weather is. But tell us about Watkins Glen.
The Glen is one of North America's classic motorsports venues, built in 1958 after a decade of local racing on closed public roads following World War II.
Okay, drizzle. I still like the 7 p.m. start time, but even drizzle, it's like I want to get a good handle on the tires. So I would prefer no. It's too bad we can't throw the option in here that says for weather. If I go, let's say random no rain, that would be nice. Okay, let's try this again. Dense fog. Okay, that's what I get. Maybe I should have taken drizzle, but we'll do this. All right, so for the fuel and tire, what I got on, I did soft tire test to get a handle on them. You're going to get about 7 laps on the softs here, which then again, it's usually whatever you can do on the softs, double it for the hards, and then the mediums are like kind of smack dab in the middle. So I'm going to try and validate that. So I think you can get 15 laps out of the hards, and then the mediums was like what, 15, 7, 9, 10 or 11 laps out of the mediums. So we'll see how that plays out. Because that still might leave me a little short on wear. So that's interesting. Well, let's see. Again, let's see what I can get. Let's see what I can get on the hards, and then that'll dictate what I try on the softs. But I don't need 40 laps of fuel. I only need 30. Okay, done. And let's start race. Put me in the back. Puts me in the front. All right, so I'm just going to kind of go with these guys down to turn 1, and I'm just going to use the extended runoff and let everybody by. Because again, I want to set up some racing. I don't want to start at the front. Excuse me, gotta go wide. It's gonna be interesting with the AI for the bus stop the first time. I just realized it's going to be much tougher for me to... No, I can still see the ambulance, but they're braking a lot sooner. Obviously, turn 1's prime passing place. The bus stop is a prime passing place, and the end of the back straightaway also. So it's like 3 main places you can try and set passes up. So let's see what I can do into the bus stop. Someone's gone wide. Whoa! Tough to see the tire bundles out there, so let's see if I can find something else. 2 laps, 7%. Should be able to get a little draft on Phoenix, but I don't know that it's gonna put me in a position to pass. Again, passing into the bus stop, you really need to be fully alongside to make that work. So, oh, come on, come on, come on. Oh, you hit the curb. Leave a little room for you. That was a little bit too early on the brakes, but oh, too early on the crossover. Well, that's the other reason why I watch these streams is to see what not to do. I dropped to third just to make sure I can get the car through the bus stop. Pushing a little bit. A little bit late there still, but oh! Okay, so be careful how much curb you use through there. I must have hooked the inside left on the opposite side of the curbing on the grass, and then it hooked transitioning back across. That was not fun. Into 5 laps. So 18. Let's just say 19 times 3. Yep, 15 laps. I need to pause here for just a second because I don't know. Let's change that. I have a fan blowing and it's kind of blowing across me, and I don't know then if that was getting on the mic at all. So I just thought I'd just move that really quick. Well, that was halfway decent. A little bit early on the turn in. Yep. Noted. That no man's land, because we have some early takers on the quick stop. But the main thing is I want to make sure that I'm eating into Tom's lead there. It's important to try and make sure you're unwinding the wheel as you exit the corner. It'll save you a little bit of wear and tear on the tire, and you don't have to worry about. You also don't have to worry about the car kind of lurching when the fronts finally grip up. Yeah, still turning in early. Even now that I'm kind of getting, I'm running more laps here and getting a little more rhythm, I am doing a little bit of trail braking into the carousel just to help get the front to bite. Bit out of position, that's fine. We'll bring the car back across. Okay, so that left front, if it is a 15 laps, we should be at about 20, what? I'm horrible with my math. 40%? Very close to it. So yeah, 15 laps on the hards, unless you completely abuse them. Then you will get less than 15 laps on the hards. This sunset lighting in the fog is really weird. Okay, at least I can see the tire bundles a little bit easier there on the left side. And for me, again, how I handle when the car starts to understeer is usually my initial reaction is just to kind of, feather the throttle, not really dial more steering in, but try feathering the throttle first. And then if I need to add more steering, add more steering. I think that helps me, kind of preserve the tire, get a little more out of the tire life if I'm not pushing, leaning on them all the time. Such a wonderful track to drive. Yeah, no problems getting up through the S's on the hard tire. And definitely the fronts are giving up a little bit more now. But we only have to do one more lap. Oops. Let me think about this here. If I want to run the mediums, 115 plus 11, that's 26. It's 3 laps short on a one-stop strategy. Let's see if I do 12. Let's see if I can do 2 more laps here. Let's see how bad it gets. And I think my race length is a little bit longer than what Thursdays will be, but see if I can get 17 out of it without dying. She's just, it's subtle, but just I can tell lap over lap that as I go to turn in, the car's just like, yeah, we really don't want to turn. Braking here is going to be interesting. Probably should brake a little bit earlier. Yeah, I'm just not getting a good exit, or at least exit as far as the line out of the bus stop to where it's a little bit easier to get the car turned into the carousel. It was moderate, so so maybe 16 is the magic number. Let's see if we can do one more. I'm being purposely a little bit more, like, really getting the car slowed down. Not try to roll it in with as much speed just because the fronts are going to give up. Same thing, the turn in to head up the S's, just correct the throttle a little bit just to give the fronts a better chance to grip. Even here, I'll drop it down to third. Help me get through the bus stop. Brake, come on, turn. Alright. But I'm already like 1.3 off. Where are we at? Yeah, 63. So, yeah, so 16 laps, not too bad. Alright. Pit, brake. Okay, so yep, we're gonna go to the medium. I don't need to take on fuel. And a little drink of water. Excuse me. Okay, immediately pop it into second. Just keep it to the inside. You should be able to hold the inside up through the first part of the S's. Then if you're clear, then you can get back on the racing line. So we're back down to fifth. John still has to pit. Oops. Raymar went wide. Do a check at the end of lap 23, and with 6 laps on the tires, if I'm below 30% on wear, then I'm good. If I'm above 30%, I might be in trouble. First order of business, though, is let's see if we can catch Fusion. Might not be this lap. I might catch him at the end of this lap and maybe try to set the pass into the bus stop. But let's see how it goes. Still doing that crossover a little early. I mean, the medium tire, I can make it work. There's grip there, but all right, so I'm not going to have a shot at turn one, so it really is just how much can I close up and can I get that run down to the bus stop. But again, my goal is that I would need to be alongside if I'm going to try to pass into the bus stop, which I might be able to do it. So catching him out, should get a little bit of the draft here. Not enough though, so break at the first light, break a little bit early. The question is can I get the run? Oh, I think I've got a little more grip here. Yep. Take that grip advantage. So the rate I'm catching Tom, I might have a shot at the left-hander towards the end of this lap. Oh, that might have been a little in the brakes. This just depends on how we both get through the carousel here. Yep, I'm going to take a look. Down to third, kind of lets me get the car through the corner and leave a little room on the outside. And pass done. Big gap to John. Start keeping track of that at the line. Like he's running into traffic there. All right, now at night in this fog, it's much harder to see like the ambulance and the corner worker shack until I'm almost right on it. So what I'm looking for is as I come onto the straight, I'm going to look for the two temporary light fixtures. It's usually as I pass the first one. That's where I got to think about getting on the brakes. So that'll help me kind of keep braking for the bus stop semi-consistent. And I still have to get my foot on the brakes and slow the car down, but at least I still have a consistent reference to use. Oh, that was almost too wide. We're slowly gaining. Looks like I'm going to have some lap traffic to work through as well. Stay over there. Thank you. Totally messed up on my lap count. Where are we at? So 40%. It's gonna be close. I meant to check it at like lap 23 and I forgot to. So we'll see where we're at here in a couple of laps.
Left.
Look at that. .1, so yep, it looks like leader's mired in traffic, so let's see if I can take advantage of that. There's minor tire wear, so yeah, we're going to be flirting with 60% in the last lap. Lost the back end a little bit. All right, can I get a run into the bus stop? No. Oh, John had looks like John had a problem in the bus stop. Looks like John has a problem out of the carousel. Blue flag, blue flag, blue flag. I only got 5% tire to fight with.
One more lap.
This is going to be a sketchy last lap. And we've got lap traffic in front of us. And front's... I might have messed up a little too much. I don't know that I'm going to have anything to catch him. Excuse me.
Total time penalty is about 2.5 seconds.
Oh well. Don't think I can pull that out in the last couple of corners, but I don't know. That tires just went to 60%. Oh my god. Looks like his tires went too. So that's Watkins Glen's short. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I did that in 34 minutes. Well, 20 actually. Again, since we run the buckets with the bucket delays, that's for those of us starting the back. It's like another minute 20 added to that we would start. So that would be 35. That'd be pushing 36 minutes total. So yeah, 29 laps might be the magic number, but we'll see what Matt comes up with. But that is Watkins Glen short in this 1997 Porsche GT1 Strassen version. And all in all, I think it's been a good season with the car. Knock on wood, the tune I kind of put together seemed to race pretty well. So hopefully that trend continues next season in the V8 supercar. Though Josh, I think, is a much better tuner than I am. So we'll see what he comes up with. Anyhow, that's going to do it for this track guide. I'll see you guys online next week. Have a good weekend. Happy racing. Oh, wait. I have to see me win. I got it. I'm on the podium. So got to show that podium off. Third place. Place to Tom Bohar. And John in second. And me in first. Again, Forza, fix the VIP driver suits. Fix the VIP driver suits. I'd like to be able to use them. But anyhow. Again, hope you guys have a great night. Happy racing.